figured we can look more about your team because you guys probably already had to talk about this during the season, and you already played it. So up to you guys.
There is not one thing we really struggled with. We were kind of doing poorly at both pushing and holding.
Okay,
So there's not really
so
one thing.
I think it's best if I just kind of reconstruct everything from the ground up, and we can go from there. How about that?
Yep.
So just kind of like on mid. I mean, it doesn't speed on mid doesn't matter. Health does. Like that. That's just true for any cost map really. So like if I'm playing demo or some shit, like some demos will put a sticky here and jump here and jump over and land in this area on like just general rollouts. I think that's bad. I don't think you need to do that. I think 2 stickies is more than enough. Um, and that can just be like, very, very simply like, we're here in spawn. We just kind of do our little 1 sticky, do our 2 sticky, and then you can just kind of walk the rest of the way. I don't think you need the 3 because you can just charge the sticky right here, take the ground, and then play it here and wait for your medic and everybody else. Really, for general like rollout stuff, I don't like sending people main. I like to make sure we send actual resources to the bathhouse. So remember, like, if you're on blue, the bathhouse and tunnel will be on the right, and if you're on red, it'll be on the left. I think it's very important to make sure like you have somebody kind of calling that because some people are directionally impaired. So it always helps to have like somebody, hey, we're on blue, everybody roll out right, or we're on red, everybody roll out left. You know what I mean? So my thing, I just run like my demo goes main pretty much on his own. Everybody else will come out right here. Once you kind of get here, like this is where like the split of resources comes in for mid. Um, Standard bathhouse players will pretty much always be, your heavy and your soldier. Like they're gonna live on these stairs pretty much the entire map and live inside bathhouse the entire map. Um, you can flex classes. So for your sniper on rollout, if you want to swing this more right, so you shoot things that are trying to get onto point from bath, and you want to avoid SVS, I think that's fine. You could also see point from this area pretty well. Also, if you want to swing left instead and shoot things that decide to commit in the bathhouse on mid, that's fine too. Um, I usually like what I'll do is I'll like have just like for advanced scrims we did this season in match, we just did like heavy, soldier, pyro, and spy all went in the bath. As a heavy, I took I took the left side here because not sure if you guys knew, but you can shoot through this. Any any hit scan can go through these, so you can like beam people down in the doorway, or you can play an angle here and play like this. My soldier would just kind of bomb somewhere, or as a heavy, like I would come right here and play this way. Basically, it's on your heavy on whatever side you want to play. Whatever side you go on as heavy, make sure you like watch your spy fast decloak. Whenever your spy comes in here, your spy's looking to stab their heavy. Um, your pyro, whenever you're in here, is kind of looking to like stare at the soldier. But if your pyro is like, if you guys are super fast in the bathhouse with like your bathhouse players, your pyro can just sit right here and hold down mouse one. And if anybody tries to run through the doorway to like fight your people in bathhouse, obviously a pyro holding down mouse one and a heavy shooting the guy getting mouse one, that person will probably die fairly quickly, right? Um, so just kind of like understanding like, hey, we got our value killing somebody trying to walk in. My pyro's like, okay, I'm gonna rotate away. Then your pyro can just kind of go out the point, air blast, spam, whatever, and then your pyro's playing with like your combo, with your scout, your demo, and your medic. Um, I mean, truthfully, very very simple mid. Like teams don't really go full point anymore. Sorry, I'm like, I got something in my throat. um, just a very very wise man once said that if bathhouse plays are really good because if you have control of bathhouse, it's really only as good as the space you have behind point. So what I mean by that is like if like we have bathhouse but we don't have space on point, The worst doorway to go would be like, all the way around this way, because where would the rest of like their team be if like, if they're on point and we're right here, this flank play is kind of dog shit unless you're trying to kill like a sniper who's just here alone, right? But if it's like, hey, point is neutral and our combo's walking on the point and their combo's like chilling on the stairs or some shit, then it's kind of fine because you actually get value from your heavy walking right here and shooting them on the stairs, or your soldier can like, high bomb them from here and whatnot, and you get pretty good value out of that. Um, Very much so. I feel like for your heavy and soldier, you guys should be essentially just staple to one another. Like your heavy and soldier are gonna be like dating in like in and around bathhouse, seeing the entire map from mids, the holds, the pushes. And kind of like I think the key to what makes good bathhouse teams is how well like that synergy is. Um, and there are like auxiliary components, like your NG can go in the bath. I think your NG kind of playing more behind point with like a mini here is a lot more productive. Your NG doesn't really need to be babysitting your sniper a whole lot. I mean, if your sniper's playing here on like a mid, your NG can like slap a mini like right here and wrangle it if you want. But I feel like you can just kind of be like a tertiary scout, kind of watching the offside, instead. Um, and mid to be fast, obviously. Just like for demo, and anytime you walk forward, you need to make sure like thinking stickies as you kind of go forward best you can, right? Just you want to maximize that damage, really try and like carpet behind them, minimize your damage. Your scout should make sure like you guys are spacing point. And anytime like you guys are walking on the point, you should be coordinating with like your like bathhouse players. So if like you're saying, hey, we're walking on the point, and I'm playing heavy and I'm playing soldier, well, I'm gonna try and peek out of bathhouse to draw eyes, because if I'm like on a combo here and I see a heavy and soldier trying to push out of here and this demo is trying to like sticky this doorway, then he's not watching these people coming forward, which is the real like threat, right?
Yeah.
There are very little to none like variations to like how mid is played. Like nobody really nine mans mid anymore, because having control to immediate point access and having immediate control of the people trying to leave is just so strong, right? And if you get one soldier on their ruins, it like shuts off half the map, right? Because he can bomb here, he can play the bridge, he can spam. They're kind of forced to play over on this half whenever he gets there. So that's like the essence of like the bathhouse mid. You guys have any questions about bathhouse mid, or like what your class should be doing, what you're like looking for? It's more or less like for your combo, like you're playing a very traditional. Just whenever my medic gets the ruins or my scout gets the ruins, my med's just gonna drop down. Just like my scout, you're gonna go look to heal your scout, and then you're just playing a point fight the entire time.
So one question I had is we were trying the ruins rollout a couple of times during our scrims. So as medic, I'm walking through this tunnel, and then I walk left over here. I'm peeking their sniper when I do this, and I've gotten like killed before, like just spawning from on the mid fight and walking across that.
Are you
So
on
is there
scout
anything I
speed
can?
or no?
I mean, yeah, I would have a little bit of scout speed, I think.
I would really like, so
Mm,
whenever you come with me
Actually,
through like tunnel here, like it's just a very quick fade. Like if you have scout speed, that would be a very hard shot for them to hit, especially if like I'm playing sniper from like,
I think our scout may have been rolling. I think it was just our flank and me rolling out ruins when we were doing it. So I wouldn't have actually had scout speed. So that's something I
yeah.
can try. Okay.
Yes, everybody needs to be going here. It's not your demo, because once you kind of get that scout speed to cross this way, you can just drop down and go here. Obvious,
Yeah.
like if your sniper goes bats for whatever reason, swinging this wide might be risky. So if you're worried about sniper bats, as long as you just kind of cross here, like you'll be absolutely fine, right? I would be very surprised if you got shot in the head doing this cross. Like that's why like this little angle is good, because if like their sniper decides to come this way and look at point, he's not really watching this, but if he decides to go like sniper right, then he might be like be able to get you right there. But this is like such a hard fucking angle. for that. It's like, you know, not really worth it, like a consideration, especially if you have like scout speed and like, you know, a heavy and a pyro also in like in the doorway. You know what I mean? But it sounds like you guys are doing more of like a central mid in that case, right?
Yeah, I think what messed us up a lot actually was not sending enough people into bathhouse.
Yeah.
Like our pyro just didn't want to roll out there. Um, our NG was actually rolling out there, but I do like the idea of having the sentry supporting me because there was a lot of like scouts and pyros just trying to run
Yeah.
up to the demo and
It
kill me.
really helps.
So
So just so we're all aware and just so we're all on the same page, the split will be demo main, everybody else this way, right? All right, we come here, and now you guys get the choice. The pyro in bathhouse is not needed, but it definitely helps. Same with the spy. I feel like the spy in bathhouse is better than the spy trying to decloak fast on point or trying to hunt the sniper, because by the time like for a spy, but by the time your spy actually like, you know, I'll just do like a standard spy rollout. You guys can check out my cool spy drip. Let's say I'm just, you know, I'm playing very traditional, like I need to find the sniper on mid, right? And I'm rolling out, and you know, I cloak here, I see sniper's over on like like here, right? As a spy, by the time like I get here, he's probably killed 2 people, right? So it's always I argue it's more effective just to have your spy like come into bath, like hug the wall, jump, find a corner, decloak on the heavy, stab the heavy, and then you just kind of shoot whatever you want in here and just kind of be like an additional hit scan player. And then once that's cleared out, like your spy can just wrap around here, and if there's a sniper like over on bats, like he's not gonna have a flank protecting him. Or you know you can do like a very traditional spy decloak where you just kind of like, you know, come up here on point, jump up the stairs, blah blah blah, easy peasy, right? Um, yeah. So any questions for that new mid plan? Alternatively, like for your heavy, if you want to just like run it up and be like a silly little goober, you can just like take your buff. You can say, fuck this door, I'm not watching this. You just come here, you rev, and you try and bomb the demo really fast through the doorway. Um, I did that a little bit in like invite scrims. I think it's really good if demos like are playing a little forward and they don't really watch the doorway. Like if heavy on like a Tommy Soft just jumps up here and starts to rev on them, like he kind of has to backpedal and start stickying you. And if he has to backpedal right here, this opens up the point for like the whole like your whole team pretty much. The downside is you're not watching the doorway, so that it might flood through. So your soldier and your soldier will suffer really bad. But if you guys really value point, that could be a good option for like mid. But I think the good standard, and we can put you guys can try this in your scrims. We just have our heavy, our sniper watch the doorway here, our spy go in the bath, our soldier can come in the bath and just kind of like bomb up here, some stuff like that. Your heavy can take a side. It really doesn't matter on. It kind of matters on heavy because like if the sniper goes this way and you play this single, you're gonna get fucking shot in the head, right? But if you pull out if you jump this way and the sniper goes like right here, you're at less of a risk and you can actually like, you know, shoot through this and whatnot. So up to you. Learn, be a human. If you get shot in the face going left one mid, maybe go right. I would assume your heavy is a capable human of thinking it, right? I hope.
most of the time.
Okay. Because this season for invite, like it's been kind of rough for scrims. We had a heavy who couldn't make it, so we would just play scrims with like a fucking bot heavy, like a literal bot heavy. But yeah. So any other questions for like that general mid plan? Bathhouse makes it very clear on whether or not you're winning the mid or not. By the way, so one thing for demo too, and like one thing for scout is like your scout and demo can interact with bathhouse if they want to. The biggest thing would just be like, you know, we like do our rollout, as demo. We decide to waddle here. You know, we see our people run in. You shoot a sticky. If they're faster than your flanking bathhouse, you can just lob pipes in there if you want to and see what you can get and turn your attention to the point. Shooting 1 or 2 pipes is pretty strong because if you end up piping like a soldier or something randomly in here, it sways the whole fight entirely. So if you want to just shoot like 1 or 2 like YOLO pipes if they're not really pressuring you and you just want to like, you know, 1, 2, then we go 1, 2, shoot a pipe, look forward, and then do this kind of thing, like that's super fine as well. If you know bathhouse is lost and you have people weak sitting out here waiting for heals, I would just kind of chill, sticky this off, pseudo get ran at, carpet the point a little bit, reload. Okay, your bathhouse players are ready to fight, and then you walk forward, right? Your scout doesn't need to be super stable to your demo. I think that's a really big like misconception for this whole mid. It's like as a scout, yeah, I mean I might play here a little bit and try to shoot their demo, but I also might get a buff and come this way and try to like check them on the side, draw eyes this way. Don't commit too much. Make them look at you, back up, get your heals, shadow your demo, come this way. Your scout doing this with a buff and not like going super deep, just, you know, draws eyes, right? If there's truthfully no one watching this, your scout can maybe like go a little deeper. But if you're doing this as scout, you are just, you know, trying to draw eyes, trying to make sure like their demo looks at something else that's not your demo and like your medic. So it's pretty straightforward. Alright. Talk about holds. What do you guys know about holds? What's your default hold? If you guys stay behind obelisk, I'm gonna scream.
We've been trying to hold bathhouse.
Okay. So a lot of people like bathhouse holds are fine.
At least I think
like,
when we have ad, we're holding bathhouse.
Okay. So I'll just kind of go over like, do you guys know the forward hold at all?
A little bit. We got forward
Okay.
held in our match.
Okay. So if you ever have ad, I would not hold in bathhouse. I would hold forward if I have ad, or try and get forward here. If you don't have ad, or if you have ad and can't forward hold, I still think playing bathhouse is. I am not a bathhouse believer. I think bathhouse is just out of meta, not very good. It's a very high maintenance hold in my opinion. It's very similar. Like honestly, if you want like a good comparison, it kind of feels like the reason why teams aren't really holding upper anymore or like tiles anymore and like upward. It's just very high maintenance and you need a lot of things to go right. And if you lose something, it kind of gets a lot harder to hold. It's also very easy to sack into. Is like a really big one, right? So the problem with bathhouse is like, what are some very pivotal classes to make this hold work?
Well,
It's
like,
demo and sniper mostly.
Yeah. So the demo and sniper is a big one, right? So our sniper will primarily be watching this bottom left area, right? Most of the time, right? Or he'll be here and he'll be like watching main or something like that, right? If like your sniper loses SVS, it's kind of on your demo at that point, right? So what can your demo really do if their team decides to like go all the way here, like far bottom left? Well, you got to walk all the way across point to meet them, right? Because you don't want to let them in for free, right? Because as soon as if their team's allowed to come here and they're allowed to swing this way, they get really good pressure on you from here. They get really good pressure on you from here, and the players in bathhouse are faced with like an ultimatum, right? How many doorways do I have to look at to stop this offense? 2?
yeah.
Plus the spy, so 3. So losing your sniper, if they're quick and push, basically forces you to fight like a 3-way fight. You know what I mean? In like 3 very small doorways that only like 2 classes can really interact with. I think this is strong if like you're even and they're kind of slow and you're just trying to like, you know, I would say even for like 70 or 80, you just want to play on your sniper for a little bit. I think it's fine. If you guys feel cozy in here, you don't need to do it. I think it's a lot better just to have your, you know, Very, very standard hold we do. I'm gonna get the player launcher. Super standard. So the teleporter exit will always go right here. The dispenser will be primarily like right here. You know, and then you just have like, you know, medic, demo, pyro, scout. Your engineer will just kind of float around here most of the time. And then you have your heavy and your soldier, and your spy is just, you know, somewhere over there, right? Look at that thing. I wasn't even looking at that. Did you see that? Anyway, yeah.
They
So we have
explode if they're under your feet too.
people here, and then like your spy will just be chilling, like probably on like bath or something like that, right? So this hold is very good because it's very easy to transition to a point hold with bathhouse support, or you're just playing behind point and trading spam and just, you know, making them peek your sniper, who will probably be playing like up here most of the time. Like a lot of times, like I watched a full invite demo and played against Buko, and all Buko did the entire time was sit right here on like the fence. The entire game, more or less. Um, have you guys done the hold like this at all, or are you guys more like we're putting our dispenser here and playing right here, or is it just like kind of a mix?
Yeah, kind of a mix.
Okay, I think the stronger default would just be like I would not really stand here unless you're like fighting them on point, right? Playing here, in my opinion, makes it really easy for a couple things. One, your heavy and soldier are going to be like bathhouse enforcers a lot of the time, so your heavy might be sitting here and just kind of like shooting the doorway to make sure they don't get in the bathhouse for free. And then your soldier will also be like kind of in here spamming the doorway to make sure that they don't get bathhouse for free. If your team has point, then your heavy and your soldier can play more inside the bathhouse. They don't have to be there. Like you can have like a heavy sit just kind of right here and watch the door. You can have a heavy sit right here and watch the door, and your soldier can play right here and watch the door. And then you have your combo on point, and you're just trying, you know, this is like, let's say, you know, their combo is rolling out main, and they're sitting like right here. Well, we obviously want to play on point because it's very easy for us just to like fuck them really bad right here. You know what I mean? And if we have our heavy and soldier in bath, and let's say like we're just kind of watching the doorway, for your bathhouse players, the mentality here is we are playing relatively inactive, so their flank cannot be active. Does that kind of make sense? So a lot of the time, and this is all like very buff dependent too. Like this should go without saying, but if you're heavy and soldier, always try and play your crit heals and always try and be buffed before you go in the bathhouse, because the longer you are in here without a buff, the worse the hold gets. That should be pretty self-explanatory, and maybe your medic could keep track of that. Kind of hard to, if like, unless, you know, somebody's calling I'm rotating for a buff. You know what I mean? But if I'm a heavy and I'm playing over here with like 360 HP and decaying, and my soldier is playing here with like, you know, 240 and decaying, and we're just stuffing the doorway while our combo plays on point. And a demo here, like your scouts maybe playing around obelisk, dancing around here. Your sniper is playing back here, like the fence, and you're just kind of like, you know, playing forward the pressure on ad, or if you're even, you're playing more your side, and you're just letting them peek your sniper while you're just kind of spamming point. Having your people in bathhouse is really good, because one, it's like denying ruins, it's denying bathhouse, it's denying point, right? I would just make sure like your heavy and soldier aren't just standing here perma all the time. Like definitely make sure like, hey, during your holds and your pushes, they are getting buffs. And like for heavy, like that'll, I mean, heavy is really boring on this map because all you do is you just kind of sit here the entire time and you watch the doorway. Oh hey, I have crit heals. Medic buff please. And because we're all playing here, your medic can very easily like slide buffs here and then slide buffs here, right? Very easy to like buff people on that are going in the bathhouse. Very easy to buff your demo and scout. Now, whenever your soldier and your heavy get buffs, they're probably going to be wanting to push bathhouse. That's super good. So we go 3, 2, 1. We're busting through bathhouse. We are in bathhouse. You're going to shoot the same thing. Okay, we got a kill. Hey, we're in bath. Cool. We have bathhouse control. So bathhouse control on like your pushes, right? That makes it really easy to push this map from this position, right? Because what's like the only open angle right now if I were to walk forward? Like
Yeah.
right here, like the only place like my demo could possibly get flanked is like over on like this left, this like right side, right? Because you know like your flank is in here and they have like control over it, right? So you're kind of free just to kind of walk up on the point, not even look over here, and just focus a lot of your spam in front of you, which is really really helpful, right? If you're heavy and your soldier are having a really hard time like with like bathhouse pressure, your spy can decloak in there. One thing we did with our scout is like if we knew our heavy and soldier we're getting buffed right here, my demo would do the thing where he kind of shoots one pipe into here and see if there's anything in there. My heavy and soldier would call they're fighting. My scout would take 185 and my scout would just run into bathhouse and help fight, and then rotate back this way and just come back to the combo. And then just be back and be ready to be healed again, and that'll help guarantee like more consistent bathhouse control. For your heavy and soul, a lot of this is like for flank, but I really can't. Combo play on this map's really boring. Like if I'm being honest, it's like it's just we're just gonna stand on point, shoot down on low ground, and then we're just gonna like, you know, stand here sometimes, and then we're gonna stand here sometimes. It's just very very linear, kind of hard to mess up. If you guys are struggling with like the micro, I would probably need to see a demo, just like see where you're going wrong. But if like your flank kills their flank and their combo is still sitting right here, it becomes very easy for your soldier just to like sit here and spam them, right? Or your soldier can like bomb here, draw eyes, land here, and just kind of spam right here behind the obelisk, and this probably reminds you guys of like product, right? Whenever the soldier would like bomb bats. Because as soon as this guy lands here, what are these guys probably going to do? Turn, right? They're probably going to turn to shoot the guy, and as soon as they turn, you just walk forward and collapse, and your heavy can just play in the doorway or walk out here as well. But if they lose their ruins, just spamming and like having your heavy and soldier just kind of tickle them is like really really strong too. So that's kind of how we can weaponize bathhouse, if that makes sense. Any other questions so far? That's just kind of like a very default, like, holding and pushing, I like that corner. If we have added numbers and we know, like, basically, anytime you, like, win a fight and you have adder numbers, you guys need to be forward holding. But before I go into forward holding, does that all kind of make sense? Like, a lot of your fights for your combo should probably start here, and you can kind of, you'll probably end up playing, like, as a combo in this general circle, right? And while your combo's fighting here, your flank is fighting in bathhouse, and you're just trying to work off and play off. Play off your demo's damage and play off your sniper's angle from like here most of the time, or bridge. No questions about that change. We all agree. Everyone knows what they're doing and what they're trying to do.
Yep.
All right, cool. Who's your medic?
I am fuzzy.
Okay, so just for you, I would definitely make sure you're making sure that these flank players are keeping their crit heals and just calling them for buffs, like before you know your combo's gonna push. It'll just make things a lot easier. Like, hey, does my flank have crit heals? Oh, we do. Okay, hold on. Before we push, let me buff my flank. Buff your heavy, buff your soldier. Okay, now we go. Right? Very, very fundamental stuff. Honestly, the most underrated thing a medic can do is that right there. Like, hey, I need to buff my bathhouse players, and then we ball. Right? Because it's like investing, right? You're putting a lot of stock into like your off angle, so your mini ult can like thrive. That was a terrible like comparison, but you get the idea. And then the forward hold, right? Okay, so the forward hold's very simple. My medic kills like either right here. I'd be very careful right here because that's a sight line, but you can also sit here if you want to, and yeah, like you're safe. But if you're right here, you get shot in the face. Right here, you're fine. If you don't like to hug the wall, playing right here is absolutely okay. Because you're in the open, it's very hard for you to get stabbed, right? So you have your medic, you have your pyro, you have your demo, right? My heavy will sit right here and watch the doorway. My sniper will play here as well. And my sniper, do you guys know the product forward hold?
We did it a few times.
Which product would hold grass, I assume?
Yeah, your combo plays on their grass.
We mostly do cliff on
Okay.
product, but I do know I do know the grass foothold, yeah.
Okay. Same principle here. Your sniper is playing here. Honestly, if your sniper wants to like climb up here and just kind of watch this cross, you absolutely can. But your sniper will play here, watch this cross right here. Your demo has two jobs, basically. Your demo will watch main right here, and make sure nothing kind of like runs through here. So your demo can play. I would say your demo playing right here is absolutely fine. Honestly, your demo with like your heavy, and your medic, and your pyro, and your sniper is great. Okay, now you gotta think about where we want our NG and like our soldier and spy. So soldier plays more on bats right here, right? Engineer, I like to have a mini just chill right here, and my NG plays more like the point and just kind of plays the point and spots bats, so a spy can just decloak and walk out onto my medic, and my spy will mostly be playing to spot them if they go lower bats, right? Does that make sense? Because if you have like a spy just kind of cloaked, checking this, oh hey, they're coming, and he just kind of sits here and cloaks up, and you have a soldier on bats, it'll slow them down enough to where your combo can rotate to meet them, and that's the key part of the hold is like the rotation. Does everyone kind of understand their positioning there?
Where do we go to rotate to meet them? Do we just walk like along along bridge or what?
No, you just come this way.
We come along the ground.
Yep, you just low on the ground, or you can back up the bathhouse and play from point two. I don't think either one is necessarily wrong. So what I do is if I'm playing heavy and the call is we are going on the ground to meet them, my heavy will sit here and stay. Right? Because if they all go here and like a heavy just walks here for no reason, or like a sniper walks here for no reason and he's not paying attention, your heavy's gonna fucking put him in a locker, right? Alright, so calls are going lower right. Okay. Leave my heavy. We have a soldier in a very hard to clear position right here, right? Your sniper can still hold the angle right here because, just kind of forces their sniper to look away from your combo. You're going to have your pyro, your demo, your medic, and your scout all come here. Your demo is going to get tanked, and your demo doesn't really need to super wide swing this, but you have a really good like spam angle into them from right here, right? It's just a tiny ass doorway. If I shoot one sticky here, it's like, it fills the entire doorway. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What's really good about this is that if they don't clear the soldier up here, your soldier gets to shit on them equally as much from like right here. So if they like sit here and they walk through and eat like two stickies and they back up, they're just gonna get shit on by the soldier, right? And they have a sniper watching the cross as well. Your soldier can also like, hey, they're not watching main. Oh, well, I guess I'll just rip a fucking fat bomb of all time and shoot back at their medic or some shit like that, right? So you can do stuff like that. Very hard pressure. If you lose your soldier or lose your spy and you're playing on the ground and you have nobody able to spot like upper bats, you need to back up. Because at that point, it's way too easy for them to like have stuff drop on you, right? So you just back up and play more point instead. And even then, playing on point here is fine because where are they? Low ground, right? So you can just play high ground and just fuck them on like the walk up, back up a little bit, reload, reheal. Hey, they're all behind obelisk. My demo knows that. shimmy forward, bam, and it's pretty simple, right? Alright. Any questions so far? Am I going too fast? Any
Nope, I
macro
think we got it.
questions? Any micro questions? This isn't really a map you should be sacking on. Like, no one really ever sacks on this map. I think sacking is really bad. The only time you do would want to try and plan a stack is if they're like forward holding. Like, and I mean like forward holding. If you want to stack onto them whenever they're in bathhouse, I think that's super fine too. Typically, oh, typically like pressure for them in bathhouse is just like, hey, I think trying to go out here is fine. So if like they're holding baths and they're giving you space on ruins, having your combo come ruins is really strong. You just have like a sniper watch this cross right here. You wait for the sniper to shoot. You have your medic drop down. Okay, we have people pressure ramp. We have people pressure point, and then you just split pressure it, right? Your med is ready to leave main. So hey, we're calling a stack in 3, 2, 1. Okay, my demo will just walk forward and try to do damage. My pyro will try and get into the doorway. We'll have a spidey cloak right here. We'll have somebody try and come in from point. And while that's going on, like your medic will just run out through main with like your engineer or something like that. That's a very good way to just like pressure. Just pressure bathhouse holds in general because teams, again, like once teams are actually close to you and they actually get through, um, you're just able to pressure the doorways so much more cleanly, right? So I think ruins is definitely like the better thing for that. If your mech can sit here and kind of get close right here, if you hear that sniper shot, just cross right away and then drop down, and then people can drop down with you, or somebody should call like, hey, sniper shot, medic cross, or stuff like that. Like comms like that are super strong, right? If you want to go lower right while they're in bathhouse, that's fine too. This is pretty much just like a glorified SVS. If their sniper loses the SVS here, it's pretty much just gonna be we're gonna walk in edge point, make them use kite. If you don't want to commit that much, you can just kind of like say it's like they have full ad, their sniper dies in the SVS. We come lower right. A really good call would be like, hey, they have full ad. Let's just try and pressure for a sack. So we're gonna swing people left. Again, set up our ruins door, set up our point door, make sure our spy is ready. We go 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we go in. Medic and NG leave. Everyone else in. We get a fourth or plenty of kills, and then we just play the ad from there. If they're still in bathhouse on ad, you can just take a family Uber into them in the bathhouse and kill them all at that point. Alright. Yeah, that's about all I got really. I mean, like I said, the map itself is very like linear. Like there's no like sauce to it, I guess would be a way to call it. It's just a lot of very fundamental, very basic strategies, but a lot of the execution falls onto like how tightly knit your bathhouse players are along with your combo. Even at like an invite level, like if you ever watch like an invite match of this game, it's a very basic map. You know what I mean? Like there's no like variations on how teams are stacking concrete or other stuff like that. Super fundamental heavy map for sure. Probably like one of the most fundamental ones in the entire rotation. It's just a little weird because I say fundamental, but the sacks are very like unintuitive or non-existent. Sometimes what the fuck? You see that?
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, but yeah, like
One quick question for you.
what's up?
So you mentioned playing on, like, holding on point sometimes.
Mhm.
When you're holding on point like that, how do you deal with the other team's sniper?
It's just like a sniper call kind of thing. So like, if there's snipers bats, you can just play here, right? If there's snipers ruins, you can just play here, right? If you have point and there's snipers like bridge, just let your sniper take SVS and let them peek you. Like that's the kind of thing where I feel like if there's snipers like ruins and like your flank has bathhouse, you can be like, yo, let's bust out onto this sniper and kill him, kind of thing, right? A lot of it's just kind of like for like sniper calls and um not being afraid to stand up there. Like I'm very much a vocal person of I'd much rather play on a team that is not scared to lose. You know what I mean? Like if if you are ever in like a scenario, and this is like, you know, competitive advice rambling or whatever, you can apply this to whatever sport or whatever like game you want. If you put yourself in a position to where you're playing to not lose, that is strictly worse than playing to win, right? So like if I'm playing to not lose, I'm not peeking. I'm not taking risks, right? But that allows them to, you know, find opportunities, right? Whereas like if I'm not afraid to like peek a little bit and I like if I'm playing scout with a buff and I see the sniper here on bats, I might be like, yo, we need to play a little bit left and play this way and then play on point, right? Take away his angle. And if there's snipers playing in there, your spy should be eating this guy alive every single day of the week, right? If he has an NG on him, well, who's not watching like the offside of point, right? Nobody, right? Because if there's an NG just sitting right here watching this guy, and I'm playing scout, and I tell my team to come left, and I go full left, and I get a clean flank onto them, then they're just making it really easy for a point pressure to like actually work, right? And if he's still there, and like your soldier has access to like, you know, their ruins, it's very simple for your soldier just to like, you know, do 2 jumps and land on that guy, right? And then now he's behind, and now he can like, you know, play here and spam, or he can just, you know, bomb away and stuff like that, right? That's pretty clean, huh?
I have a
So then the other
question.
thing is, Space, you can go first.
My question was, if the other team's doing a forward hold, what's the best way to break it?
Right here, bottom.
Just like take an SVS on the far side,
Well,
or just
forward
walk
hold
our
would be
combo?
like they're on your ruins, right?
Yeah.
Buff your sniper. So what I recommend here is I would do heavy soldier, push tunnel together, right? Heavy soldier come tunnel together. Everybody else come left. Make sure your sniper is tanked. We call the peak in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have these people. You have your sniper peak for an SBS angle. You're gonna have your heavy and soldier just run through and try and like cause chaos here. Try and like shoot that sniper, shoot whatever's on their ruins to make them look away from your combo. And if they don't rotate to meet you guys, and their sniper misses and you cross, this becomes a lot easier to handle because your sniper gets better angles. Unlike your sniper, the further your team goes, right? And if I'm playing medic, I can just sit here and bait for the sniper the entire time until my sniper kills that guy, or it's called he's in bathhouse. And once he's in bathhouse, I'm just trying to hug the angle and like take the angles away, right?
And what if they do rotate to meet us?
You want to make sure you're supporting like the upper players here. So one thing I would just say is if you know their combos here pressuring you, your pyro can walk forward, buff your scout, and you can honestly like buff your engineer and send your hit scan up here to clear out this soldier and whatnot. Once this guy gets cleared out and you're able to shoot down on them, that'll open up a lot of opportunities for you. If you want to send, like sometimes what we would do is I would just send like just my heavy here. If like this is like a like an adapting thing, like oh they rotate, but they really don't leave a lot on ruins. Well, if you guys have ruins control, it's really easy for like your soldier just to walk on the bridge and, you know, fight this guy right here, right? Or if he wants to, he can also bomb and just kind of like, you know, land on them this way. So if your heavy and soldier get through on ruins and you guys get through like This way, you can kind of collapse on them this way and force them back on the point. You might lose one or two, but it's worth getting out your own spawn, right?
I think if we like show we're going to the far side over there to get them to rotate, and then our heavy and soldier go pressure ruins.
Yeah, it's just like a 3-2-1 thing. Because as soon as they see this cross, they're probably gonna go. And if they don't, then they're just gonna get ran over by your heavy and soldier, and your heavy and soldier can just come out the tunnel and try and shoot like the sniper or shoot the demo right away, right? Or like you have your soldier whip your heavy, the soldier jumps through, comes through this way, your heavy comes through, and you just kind of do a lot of chaos here. You guys can run, and they'll be really hurt and forced to back up. And if they don't rotate and it lets you go into point, well, you're capping at that point, right?
So you've talked about what to do if they're holding bath or if they're forward holding, but if they're just holding relatively standard, like kind of on the point or kind of by bathhouse behind the point,
Like right here.
where would you recommend coming up? Like, do you come up main? Do you come up ruins?
I would just match it. Play here. And then
No. But like, where do you come up? Do you come up ruins or main? Because you would eventually end up there. But
I'm saying so like we have our combo here and like our combo like their combo's there.
let me
Sorry,
clarify the question. We are
yeah,
in
you're fine.
spawn. We are in spawn. They're
Okay.
holding relatively standard. Where do we go?
Sure. Main or ruins, your pick.
Okay.
As long as you end up here, you're good. So I was like, what is this guy talking about? No, yeah, that I think it really depends. So
I mean, I think main's a little safer from sniper.
main is pretty standard. Essentially, the rollout I would just do is if you have full wipe and they're playing that side, I would just send my heavy and soldier to ruins, send my combo main. Okay, we come out, check for traps. Okay, we're through. I mean, if they're holding on point, this becomes like a lot worse. If they're holding point, I would recommend ruins, right? Because you can at least like, have your sniper check this angle, and your medic can also just like walk through pretty tight and see what's going on and be pretty safe from any angle. But once we're all established here through main or through tunnel, I really wouldn't go this way at all because the reason is buff, right? You want to make sure again you're buffing your heavy, buffing your soldier, so they're able to actually support this fight and just kind of peek the door and see what's going on while you guys are pressuring, right? That's the absolute big one. Because once we're able to just like get established here, slide these guys buffs, and just kind of play patiently, it'll make it a lot easier. I hope that answered your question. If not, I can give you a different answer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Where's your spy?
Our spy is one of the people who couldn't make it.
I'm on spy. GG. All right. Yeah. Unless you guys have any questions, that's all I gotta say. Really. Like that's a good quick review, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's any questions, so thank you.
Yeah. You guys need a spy ringer?
That is a question for Hyperion or Galetto.
Hold on one second. Yes, Kieran, go for him.
What? We are con. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you wanna play? Hyperion.
Dime.
Witty, ¿qué va a jugar?
Espero.
I don't know. So I think we need a spy.
And I'm in.
You can play?
I can play